And Mr. Shea, can you quickly introduce yourself to the class because you were in here yesterday? Just 30 seconds.
Yes, sir. Pleasure joining the class. So I'm new to this, and think it will be a wonderful pleasure to enjoy what this class had to offer.
All right, thank you. So as we go into requirements properly, I will encourage everyone, please get a note and start making some summary on how to answer some interview questions based on what we are doing. And now the reason for that is this: one of the common questions, and I can guarantee 90% of the time, they will ask you this in the interview. They can ask you in the form of, let me open up my Word document. Besides, I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yep.
Okay. One of the common questions will be, tell me about your most complex development, or it can be development, or your most challenging reports you worked on, or it can come as in form of tell me what you've done in the past, okay? Or it can also come in form of can you take us on a journey, of what you've done in the past, okay? Don't mind my typo, okay? In the past. So it can come in this format. But what they are looking at is they just want to understand how you undertake a project, interact with the users or with the project sponsor, and how you do the reports, integrate feedback into your development, and how you release that project to the users. You just want to see your idea from start to finish. However this question comes, can you tell me what you've done in the past? Or take us on a journey of what you've done in the past? Or what is your most recent job? Can you tell us about your most recent job? It can come in any far, but once it has to do with what you've done, as you're working in the class right now, start taking notes, summarizing what you've done, how you did it from start, from the data side, from the requirement, how you use Jira to track, and all that, and you just reference what you've done in the past. I mean, what you've done in the class, reference it, because this class is part of your experience. We get it? So I came up with this idea of this flow here is going to be our Jira, okay? And here is our requirement, what we are asked to do. So as we start, just take a note to say, okay, you have a project, a new project assigned to you, and you create the ticket in Jira for that requirement, and how you move that project from stage to stage, communicating back to your to the product owner, and how you do it from start to finish. Just summarize it in your own way. So in your interview, it comes out from you naturally. You talk like a pro because you know what you've done. You've taken some summary of how you did from step by step to the ending of that project. Do we get that?
Can you go?
Yes.
Can you repeat that?
Okay, I said before we start this project, I want you to get a notepad, okay? Start taking like summary on your own how to answer some of these interview questions. I'm just giving us some kind of ways the recruiters might ask that question. For example, tell me your most complex development or your most challenging project that you've ever taken, or tell me what you've done in the past, or take us on a journey of what you did in your last project, or in your last job. What you've written down as a summary describing what we are doing in class will be the perfect answer. And as you are taking all this process right now, just start taking notes, because I'm going to be starting from the beginning, how it is done in the real world, to the ending of each development. So start taking note on your own, how the report was given to you. The project was assigned to you, what you did first. Just make it a sentence, how you would just answer it straight in the interview, how you get your data, how you develop, communicate with the users, and so on. So I will let you know what to write down in your notes, but get a notepad. Okay, so start making this note on what you will say in an interview about what you've done in the past, and reference what you've done in the class and what you're about to do in the class. Reference it, because it is part of your experience. You paid for it, you give the time, so it is part of your experience and nobody can take it from you. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we have you had a discussion with your manager or your product owner. Your product owner, some company use Scrum Master, project manager, or your team leader, or the users of the report can create a ticket in Jira and assign that ticket to you. Okay, it's going to come in form of this. Now in Jira, you have like a dashboard like this, a workflow. Okay, once they create a new requirement for you or a new job, it's going to come in form of a ticket number. So each assignment they give to you will have a ticket number. So with that ticket number is how they track it. So once they create that ticket number, sometimes it comes to under to-do list. Okay, it pop up under your to-do list. And this ticket number here becomes the project ID. So everybody open up this Excel assigned to you and type in here assigned to you. For example, this is assigned to me. Okay. Put your name there. So this project is assigned to you, and the ticket number for that project is RA 1001. So now we don't know what the requirement is as of yet. So in Jira for real, if you click on that ticket number, it takes you to all what they want you to do. Okay. And then the first thing you do is to review the requirements. So take a note that once a project or a development is assigned to you and you receive it through email or through one-on-one discussion with the project manager or your team lead, as the case may be, the first thing you do is to review the requirements. So you can take a note of that. That's one of the steps in going about a new requirement. So how do we review it? We click on it in Jira, just click on the ticket number. I'm going to pretend right now, and it's going to take us to the requirements page. Now we see that we have the ticket number here, AR001, and this is all what they want us to do, or what they want you to do. So the title of the project is going to, the summary is going to be develop airline safety reports. So now you have an idea that this project is to look at the airline safety reports. Okay, and here they're going to give a brief description in Jira or any application that you're using. You have a brief description on that. So it says project description, develop a report to analyze the safety airline in terms of incidents, accident, fatality, and average seat of flight. Okay, it kind of makes it's starting to like make sense right now. So here it gives a brief description about the data. Now every development is supposed to tell you what data to use. If you don't, if it doesn't come with data to use, you have to ask questions. You clarify from the person assigning you that ticket, what data, where is the data, what is the location. They will give you, they will tell you which database or where to find it. And by default, if you're working in an organization, you have access to the database. So if you are developing a report, you have access to the database. So they have to point to you which database or data to use. Now, don't be afraid to ask questions in development. You cannot ask too much question. There is nothing like you asking too much question, because it is better for you to ask too much question than to develop something and it has a lot of defects. One thing that company don't like is to develop a report and the report have a lot of defects, it's not usable. Okay, and in this class, start practicing that, ask questions, okay, at any time. Any minute thing that is not clear to you, ask question and get clarification. It is allowed in development, because you are not the user of the report. The users of the report, they don't see your effort if the report is not usable. They only see your effort when the report meets their need and is usable. So ask question before you release, okay? Now, in the data here, it says fatality. If fatality table has this and this, just call it fatality. And if it's this, call it accident. If it's this, call it incidents. So here, let's say you don't have no idea of what they're talking about. Who can tell me what to do from here to try to understand what they're trying to do with this? Who can tell me what is your next approach to try to understand what they're trying to do with this data here? You've not seen the data, so what
I think you have to probably export the data.
Yes, but not export. What you have to do is to assess the data and evaluate the data to make sure that this field that they are looking for is in the data. So all you have to do is log onto your database, pull up the table, and look at the data so you can have some idea of what they're talking about. So this is here is what you call data evaluation. You kind of evaluate the data to make sure that the data is going to meet the need of this report. Get it? So right now, let's evaluate our data. So everybody open up the same data as at yesterday, the airline flight that we used yesterday. Open it up.
No, you're sharing your screen. There's no way we can.
No, you can. You can open up your own. I want you to look at it. Okay. So what I do, when I say do, then you do. Okay. So everybody now open up your airline data. It doesn't affect. It doesn't close your view. Once you open it, you can minimize that Excel.
Okay.
Okay.
The airline. Airline safety?
Yes, that's the one that we're using. Where's my not opening?
Okay. Yeah, it's open.
Mine is not coming up. What happened? Okay, let me. So let me preview for you. I don't know why mine is not opening. So what you have to do is to like look at the data to understand what they're saying. Now we see that there are some fields. There are some fields here that have incidents, fatality, and accident. And so what they are saying, any field that have, for example, you see that we have incidents 85 to 89, and then we have incidents 04 to 00 to 14. What they're saying, this field, combine them as incidents. And the one that have fatality, just call it fatality. And the one that have accident in it, just combine the two fields and call it accident. That's what they're saying. So if we go back to the requirement here, you can see that they say fatality in bracket 00, 14 and 598 equals to fatality. So which means these two combined, you call it this name. Okay, it just popped up finally. Okay, so that is what it's saying. Do we get that? Is that clear enough? Do we understand this?
Yeah, well, on the worksheet, the airline safety, we have incident 85_99, fatal accident 85_99, fatalities, incident. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So anyone that has fatality there, just call it fatality. Anyone that have accident, just call it accident. So we're going to concat two views to make one. Okay. Then these are the requirements they want in this data. They say must have. A must have means that the report must have those requirements. You cannot do without them. So must have here, all this is what the report must have. So here it says a KPI. KPI means key performance indicator. Average seats, incidents, fatality, and accident. So they want to see a KPI that shows the average seat, the average incidents, average fatality rate, and so on. Now, another must have is here, accident. They say if accident is equal to 0, then they want to call it no accident, and the color should be green. So if accident here have 1 to 5, then we call it low, and we can make that like light red and so on. So they're telling us how to regroup these accident values right here. For example, if we look at here, if you count the number of accidents in this airline, if it's equal to 0, then we can group this 0 under no accident and make the color red. That's what they say.
Green.
And then
the color green.
Yeah, green. Okay. And fatality, they gave us how they want to group that. The incident, how they want to group that. And here, finally, here they said would be nice to have, which means it's not really it's important, but if you can, they want a detailed table of all of the data. Okay, and lastly, they said report interactivity. The dashboard views must interact with each other, which means if you click on something on one worksheet, it has to interact with the other worksheet. That's a filter. So they want to use each worksheet to filter out each other and see the relevant value in the other worksheets. Now, this requirement here might might look complicated or difficult, but it's very simple stuff to do. If you understand Tableau, this will not take you 30 minutes to do. All right. And sometimes they will also put here success criteria, blah, blah, blah. So what will define this report as being successful? They might say it must meet all of the above stated. Some people don't use it in my company. We don't use the success criteria, but some people use it. So it's not anything, but they're not telling you what will make this report move to production. It must have all this. Okay. Do we understand that?
Okay.
Do we understand what we're trying to do?
That's for now.
Okay. Now, an approach to requirement is to take everything step by step. Don't try to do everything at once. Just take step by step. First one, KPI, do it. Then come to an accident, do it. Before you know it, you have all of the requirement done. Now, there's something I must make clear to you here. How many of us have heard of the word agile? Agile is a system development methodology. It's an environment, and within the environment, you have Scrum, you have Waterfall, you have Kanban, and all that. But a lot of companies want to know if you work in the agile environment and so on. Yes. Now, what we're doing here, Jira here, is an agile tool. So what agile means is to break your report or your development into smaller chunks and do them piece by piece. You add to your development in incremental process until you finish everything. That's just for agile. Agile means quick and fast. So, and the way agile apply its method is to do it little by little until you complete everything. So that's what we're going to do here. So everything is broken down into little pieces here, little chunks, and we're going to take them one by one. Okay, so let's hit our dashboard and let's get into our development. So once we are ready to start developing our report, you come to Jira right here and you just drag in the real world, you drag this into refining. You drag it in here and it just, I don't want to break the cycle. So you just drag it like this and drop it here. Now, the people that assign that project, the system will automatically send them an email to let them know that you started working on that. So what we've been doing, trying to understand the requirement, is what you call refining. We'll be trying to refine the project, understand the data, understand everything. So let's move this to refining. We can. So now our project is in refining and we've understood what we want to do. So the next thing for us to do before we start developing, we have to move this to where again in progress, because now we are ready to start working on it, or we are working on it. So we're going to move this to in progress before we start working. And just assume that I'm dragging and drop, okay? In the real world, all you have to do is just drag and drop under progress. It send email to those that are assigning the project to know that you are working on it. So let everybody connect to your data, open up your...
Hello, Prof.
Yeah?
Sorry, just to be clear, I mean, the first thing we did was to look at the data and look at the requirement,
yes,
the requirement and both the must have and the nice to have.
Yes.
That is what is called refining.
Yes.
Is it when we are doing that, we are going to move it to refining? When we are,
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
As you are doing that, just move it to refining. Okay. Once you are ready to start developing, move it to in progress. Okay, so you see that we are working with Jira at the same time, working with Tableau, working with our data. So just take a little bit of notes as you are doing this, in case they ask me that, how do you take, how do you go about your development, or how do you approach a new development? This process, just tell them from start to finish. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And so everybody now connect to your data by opening up a new Tableau. And by now, we all know how to connect to data, right? This file that we are using is even though it say Excel, be sure that it's an Excel. So let's look at that. Okay, it's an Excel. So connect to this data using the Excel link, and go bring in the airline safety. Click open. Tableau is going to load the data, and we'll just go to our sheet 1. So everybody do that. Okay, are we done?
Yeah, it does open airline safety here.
Okay. Shay, you didn't get the Excel?
Oh, I'm on it. It's open already.
Okay, somebody said they didn't have the Excel.
Oh yeah, it was me yesterday. So, but I had to relate with AY, so he was able to help me fix it.
Okay. Okay. Somebody's asking a question. Mimi, are you there? Mimi,
Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
So, do you have your tablet up?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I was not able to open. I just got it open now. So
Okay.
I'm kind of like behind.
Okay, but are you able to get to where we are right here? Okay, share your screen.
Oh, are we on sheet 1 or sheet 2 now?
No, it doesn't matter. Just click on sheet 1 and
wait.
Yeah, I'm on sheet 1. Okay, yeah, sheet 1.
Okay, if you're having problem, quickly share your screen and we can fix it. So Mimi, share your screen quickly.
Hey, boss, I don't have that stuff too, though.
Which one? The airline safety?
Yeah, I don't know if you shared it yesterday.
No, I sent it to you. If you look at the email, the second email that have the class details, it in the attached. So create a folder and download all the files in that folder.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, let me check now.
Okay. Maybe share your screen. Can you share your screen? Okay, let's wait for me. Who else is having problem connecting? Mimi, are you there?
Yes, I'm using the MacBook. It's kind of like complicated, so I'm trying to.
Okay, all right. So just watch for now, and then I can help you out. Okay.
Figure it out. Okay.
Yeah, just watch and take notes. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So now we have our data. So let's go back to that requirement and see the first one. It says if you look at the data right here, they want us to combine all this data into one field. Okay, so the first thing we do is to create a calculated field, and this will be our introduction to calculated field. And after this week, we're going to be doing more of calculation using calculated field parameters and all that. So for now, we're going to keep it simple. Okay, now this one has accident. So what are we going to call that by our requirement? We call it accident. So let's create a calculated field and just, if you want to create a calculated field, there are various of ways of doing that. You can click on any blank space below here towards your left, right click and create calculated field. Or you can go in here and create calculated field. It's still the same thing, doesn't matter. Or you can go into your analysis and create calculated field. It's still the same thing. Now you're going to be working with calculated field a lot, writing calculations. Now how you can go in calculation depends in your knowledge in programming. But I must tell you, a lot of those rigorous calculation is not really needed because 85% of the time, the data is structured. So the most calculations that you're going to be creating is creating like year-to-date calculations, week-to-date, average sales, calculating making some aggregation, using some max and mean and all that. We're going to get into all that. And these calculations, they have different behavior. You know, you have to, you don't really have to know, but just understand that they have different behavior depending on how your data is structured. Okay, so for now, let's stick with the basic calculations. So in your interview, let them know that you write some complex calculations to help, you know, meet your requirement need. Okay, and so our first calculation here is going to be, we're going to call this accidents, and they want to combine these two. For me, I'll just drag this in here and just do plus this. Okay, now I also like to do like a quick validation. Okay, so I want to see what is the total of this accident first. I'll just drag this into text. So this one is 37, and I drag the other one also into my label test. This is 122. So if I add this together, I should get 159, right?
Yes.
So if I create a calculations to add these two together, I should have 159 in total. So I'm just going to click OK and drag this into my test. So it's right. Okay, so I can just drag this off right now and see this is right for me. Okay, so I've answered my first challenge here, which is for this accident. And so I want everybody to do the same thing, create a calculation for fatalities and incidents using what we just did. So go to your calculator field, call it incidents or incidents, doesn't matter. And drag in your incident field, drag, put plus sign, and drag the other part of the incident in. Again, let's try to do a quick validation, 123. This should give me 633. And if I drag this in here to do a quick check, 633. So that is working fine. I can just clear this. So everybody do that, okay?
You're putting the two incidents together.
Yeah, look at our requirement.
Then we take it to the text.
We are adding the two together. So anyone that has fatalities, add the two group together and call it fatalities. Okay, that's what we're basically doing.
Then we click OK. Okay. And I put the two fatalities together under incident. And it gave me, I have 231, and under it, I have 6295.
Okay. Now you can tell me what I'm doing wrong here. Let me see my accident calculation. What field am I using? Okay, I've created for that already, so I don't need to create that. I'm missing one. Accident, incident. Okay, fatalities, that's the one I'm missing. Okay, all right. I did check my fatality. Okay, all right. So are we all done with this?
Yep.
Okay, are we all done with this? AY,
Yes, sir.
Shay,
I'm still on it.
okay. Dada, I know you are a pro now, so we don't need to, you and Ejiro, we don't need to ask you guys whether you are done or not.
Yes, I'm done anyway.
Yep.
Okay.
Quick question. You added 3. You added 2 fatalities. Then do you add the incident to it?
My fatalities. 1. See, we have fatalities, these 2. You
Okay.
add them to make fatalities. Then we have incidents, 1, 2. We add them to make incidents. Then this fatal accident, you add them to make accidents.
Hello, can you explain it again? Because I was just adding the 2.
Okay, look at the data very well. Fatal accidents. So they want us to add this accident, and call it accident. And
That means we're going to create another year.
Yeah, another calculation.
Okay.
Sorry, Prof. The incident for the fatality, are we going to do that on the different sheets?
No, just open the calculation and do it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Shay.
Yep.
No, I'm talking to the other Shay.
Okay.
Yep.
Shay, are you able to catch up yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, if you have any challenge, share your screen and we can all work together.
Okay.
Do you have the data now?
Yeah, I think I've been able to download it. Yeah, I saw it actually. 6 there. Yeah.
Okay, then just download only that one for now in a folder and quickly connect so you can catch up.
Now you don't have anything on your screen.
Okay, share your screen quickly.
Whenever I stop, it goes me and then just goes good. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do it back.
Share your screen.
There you are, you cheeky little child. I still have that. Oh,
Are you sharing screen? There's a screen, share button under is green. Just
Yes.
click that button.
Under the screen, you see a green button there that shares share screen. Just click on that.
When you hover your mouse, you see beside chat. Just click share.
Wow, it's gone again.
You don't see it?
I know.
Hello, can you share your screen quickly?
Who is sharing screen?
No, someone said he's having some difficulties. So is it okay?
Let me share my screen.
No, not me.
Okay, share your screen. Let's see what the challenge is. Go to your Zoom screen. Look below, you see a green button that says share screen. Just click on that.
Beside chat, beside chat.
It's saying host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh yeah, okay, let me, oh, okay,
Oh,
now.
that should be under join audio, share screen and invite others.
Okay, now, so click on share screen now. I don't know why Zoom. Okay. So what's the challenge?
Yeah, so when I hit the create a field, so I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I drag the fetal accident.
Okay, hit the plus button.
And the other one.
Okay, that's it.
So
No?
on your calculation 3, write fatality.
And name all your other 2 calculations. Have the attitude of naming because you don't know what calculation 1 or 2 is.
Okay, so the first one should be fatality, right?
No, look at your data. Look at your data.
Okay, okay.
For example, the one you have on your screen right now, the one you have on your screen, the calculation 3, what is there? Fatal accident, plus fatal accident. In your requirement, what are you supposed to call it?
Let me check. Accident.
No.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be fatalities, right?
Finish with your first one first, the one on your screen.
This one?
Yeah. No, name it. Go to your calculation.
Oh, right here?
Yeah, name it.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. Clean it and write accident. This one's supposed to be for accident. And go and edit the remaining 2. Go back to that little drop. Yes, you can double click or you can go on that drop down and click it. No, it's okay. You can double click it and just rename it from there. But the challenge is you don't know what this is. You don't know. You can call it fatality and it's not fatality. So that's why I would say do Ctrl-Z on your laptop, click out and click out again. Go back and edit that calculation. Go click on that field, click on it.
The create field?
No, click on the calculation itself.
Okay.
And go to that little drop down by beside it. That little, yes, and go to edit. So now you know that this one is the incidence. So name it incidence.
Okay.
Okay. Click OK and do the same thing for the other one.
Okay. Hello, how you doing?
No. You
already created. Oh, okay.
You just go and edit it. That is the calculation 2.
Actually, accident.
Huh?
Accidents.
So where is your fatality? I thought you just, oh, did you close it?
He has not done it.
I've not done it.
Okay, all right, so quickly do that and name it, okay? So you can stop sharing.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so create a calculation for the fatality and just group it, okay? And click on your show me to hide that show me pane because it's taking up your view. Just hide on that show me, just click it to hide it. It doesn't, all right. So Shay, do you have it now or do you need help?
No. Hello?
Or do you need help?
Yeah, I have it downloaded now.
Okay, so are you up to point with us?
I think I can. Mine, I'm just about to get started because I just downloaded the the sheet itself. So
okay, well, so
yeah.
do you need help?
I think from what I've seen so far, it's basic, except if you want me to.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So so it's basic. All right, good. I like that. So let's continue. So now we've answered some of this question. Now, if you look, we can just go ahead and start developing our report, but there is a grouping that they want us to do here, this grouping. And for that, before we can even do anything, we have to get this grouping right first. Okay? And how do we accomplish that? We have to create another calculation calculated field. And I want everybody to watch here, okay? The first one is for this accident. We're going to create, we can call this anything. We're going to create another calculation field. We can call this accident grouping or let's call it accidents, or you can call it anything. Now, if you look at the requirement, they say anything, well, not this view. If the number of accidents is equal to 0, what do we call that? No accident. Okay. So let's create, we're going to use the if function here. I will say if this is our accident grouping that we create. You can just drag it here and say if accident is let's say equals to 0, then we pass in another function called then. Okay, we call this no accident, right? That's what our requirement says. No accidents. No accidents. Okay. So if this accident here field, if the sum of it is equal to 0, then call it no accident. Now, because we are aggregating, you have to pass the function sum. So it's going to sum it up and then look at it if the sum is equal to 0 or not. So let's pass that function sum here and close it here. So if the sum of this equals to 0, then call it no accident. What I like to do, I like to just put my end here. The reason because if you write a calculation using the if function, you have to put an end at the ending of that calculation to tell Tableau that that calculation is done with. Okay, so for me, I just scroll down somewhere and put my end because this end will always automatically check my calculation to see if each line of my calculation is right or not. So right now, I know that this first one that I wrote is valid. So I'll just click enter, and I'll use the function called else if. This might be new to you, but don't worry, it's very simple, okay? you're going to be using it a lot. If you use it once or twice, you're going to get used to it. So we're going to pass another function called sum. Just type accident in it and double click. So if this sum function equals to what's the next group? If it's between 1 and 5, then we'll call that low. Okay, so if it's between 1 and 5, so I can say if this is equals to, or if this is greater or equals to 1, and I have to pass my AND function here. If the same thing here, we can copy and put in here is 5, right?
I have a question.
It says 5, okay. If it's equals to less than or equals to 5, then we call that what? Low. Do you understand?
Prof, you miss 1. Yeah.
Okay, 1, yeah. So do we understand what we're trying to do? Ask question.
Yes.
Just watch for now. We're going to have a chance to do it. Okay, and then I can say, I can just copy this and let somebody help us out with the requirement. What is the next one? Just copy that and paste. If it's equals to greater than, if it's 5 to 10, then it is high. But now 5 is already here. So we cannot say if it's equals to 5 again, because it's just going to group 5 into different places. So what we can do is to say if this is equals to 6 or greater than 6, and this is equals to 10 or less than 10, then we call that high. And high, okay. And then there's anything above 10, we call it very high. So since we know that that is our last group, we don't need to repeat this statement again. We just use another function called else. Else, we call everything else very high. Okay, very high. Do we understand? If for example, let me bring in my airline here and bring in this accident number here. Let's sort it. So they're saying all those ones that are 0 here, group them under no accident because they don't have no accident. Then anyone that has 1 between 1 and 5 here, group them under low. Anyone between, let's say, 6 and 10, we call them high. So anyone above 10, we call them very high. That's what they're asking us to do. Now, this is very simple logic. Okay, it's like grouping. And the language is like your own regular language to say if these children are under 12, put them in class 1. If they're under 15, put them in class 2. Every other person, put them in class 4. It's the same thing that they're asking you to do. Do we get it? Ask question, please. Do we understand this?
Okay. What?
No, nothing like where. Ask question. We're gonna get into some more complex calculation, but it's very easy to use. It might look strange to you now, but it's very simple. Don't worry. And any calculation that you want to use in the future, I'll show you where to get the resources. They are all online in Tableau Public and everywhere. All you have to do is copy it and edit it to what you want to do. But I want us to get used to writing it on our own, okay? So do we understand this calculation? If you do, say yes.
I do.
Yes.
Okay, if you don't, say no.
I'm thinking if you can go over it again.
Okay, now, remember we combine all this grouping together, this data, okay? So now if you bring our airline here, I'm bringing the, for example, accidents here. If you look at it here, what this data is telling us that, for example, Aeroflot have a total number of 15 accidents so far, while Delta Airline have 14 accidents. United Airlines have 10 accidents and so on. Some airlines never have any accidents. So that's why you see zero, because they don't have no accidents. But what the users of this data is trying to see, they want to see how many airlines have not have accidents. So if you look at it right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, but this, if you wanted to start counting, it's going to be difficult for them to use. So for them to easily analyze those that have no accident or have low accident or high accident, we have to create a calculated field to group these airlines here. So in grouping them, the requirement says any airline, for example, Virgin Atlantic and Aer Lingus, from here downward, they've not have any accidents so far. So our requirement says group them under no accident. Any airline that have not, that doesn't have no accident at all, group them under no accident. Any airline that have accident between 1 and 5 accidents, group them under low. And any airline that have between 6 and 10, group them under high. All the rest, you group them under very high.
Okay.
Okay. This is a way of grouping data to like analyze them together, because data is so large. You want to like create some kind of grouping to quickly analyze those that fall under that grouping. Okay. So let's click OK and see if our calculation is working. So for me, this is how I test my calculation. I'll just bring in the field here like we have. I'll drag this by the side. Okay, so we can see now that our very high is working. So all the one above 10 is under high. All the ones under 5 and 6 is also high, and if you go all the way down, the one between 0, no accident. So this kind of calculation is working well, is grouping well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's remove this from the view and see, oh, it's no longer working. So it's telling us that everything is under very high. Now you're going to have some of this data behavior depending on how your data is being structured. So the reason why this is not working now, it only works when you have this field in view, is because this calculation is calculating at the default database of the data. Dada, are you following?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so it's computing at the level of the database. So Tableau does not know how to compute this calculation yet. That's why it will only work when you have, let's say, the airline in view. And so it's working now because it knows to put this calculation in terms of airline. But what if the users want to use this as a filter? It's going to be a problem. So to fix this, we're going to introduce a level of calculation, which is called the LOD. LOD is very nice. It helps you to create some calculations that you are telling Tableau, perform all these calculations at the level of this field. That's what they are called LOD, level of details. And there are so many, 3 of them: fix, include, and exclude. We're going to go into all this as we go on, but let me just make you think with these simple ones. So to fix this, let's introduce the fixed LOD. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a space, come up here and just type in fix. It's very simple to use. Fix, click on fix. And since I want to populate my calculation at the level of the airline, I want to see which airline falls within this group. I'm telling Tableau to fix this calculation at the level of the airline, and I'll just pass in my semicolon here, and I'll close my curly brackets. So it's valid right now, and let's click apply. I might get error because it's a different kind of, just remove this. And now let's bring in that field to our view. So you see that it's now working very well. So we can bring in only our airline here and just use this, our calculation, as a filter. For example, if we want to see all those that are high, so you see now it's telling us the airlines that have high, the ones that have low, the ones that have very high. So it's working now because Tableau knows to compute a calculation at the level of airline. I know it's a bit confusing. Don't worry. Okay, Dada, am I lying?
Not here.
Don't worry. Okay. So for now, I will allow you, or let me edit this. I have created this incidence calculation. So I want you all to use the same logic to create the calculation for our fatality. Group them. Okay, and group this. So I want somebody to lead. Look at this calculation right here, but you are not creating for accident anymore. Remember, we have incident here. Let's just call this accident grouping so we don't confuse it, okay? So I want you to create the fatality grouping using this logic here. This logic here, using the fixed airline, the same calculation, but all you have to do is to change this field because we want to create for fatality and incident, and passing the variables that they are looking for. 0 is no fatalities. 1 to 10 is, you call it 1 to 10. 20 to 50, you call it 20 to 50. 50 to 100, you call it 50 to 100. And every other thing, you call it above 100. You get it? So everybody get to work. Write the calculation for fatality group using this logic, but change it to what the requirement says. We have 10 minutes. Don't try to copy this. If not, I can just copy this and send it to everybody. And no, I want it to write it.
The previous screen, how do I clear it up?
Just click on this X here, and you're going to clear everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm giving everybody 10 minutes, and everybody, you're going to show what you've done. Okay, create two grouping for fatalities and incidents. Okay, let me put in our requirement beside this so you can. Okay, let me just do this. So this is it. So look at the fatality grouping and use this logic to create for fatality grouping and incident grouping. 10 minutes, everybody. Who's finished?
Okay. I'm trying to.
I can give you an expo, but I want you to like try to write the calculation on your own using this same logic, but you have to change this. For example, you're writing for fatalities. So you're going to, instead of accident here, you're going to use the fatality field, and then you just edit what is for. First to finish gets a prize.
Hey, boss, I guess that'll be me. Hey, I'm just kidding. Hey, boy. So with mine, I've been able to, I haven't been able to do the, I was just, basically watching, but right now I've been able to bring up my,
You have your Tableau.
yes,
up.
yes,
You
yes,
connect
yes,
to the
sir.
data.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you create the calculation for our adding those fields together? Do that first. Remember we said requirement, we said, look at these two here. For example, incidents field that have 004 and 89, 9985, add them together and call that field incident, and do the same thing for accident and fatality. And then we use that group now to further create another calculation for grouping. So you can see that we are calculating from one level to another. I want us to understand this basic. If we get this, then we are ready to fly. It's very easy. It's just logic. It's like a language. See, just look at this calculation as your own language, how you will use the language to group people. That's what it is. Samsi, are you done?
Almost.
Dada, are you done?
Yeah, no yet.
You should be the new class captain. Hey, do you know, I think,
I said we should not copyright.
Huh?
You said we should not copyright.
No, just look at what I wrote here. Use this same logic here to answer the remaining two challenge that we have. So we've solved one for accident group. Now create the fatality group using this same logic. Apply it and create the calculation for this. So you can copy the code, but you have to change the what's in there to arrive at this. So it's going to be fixed airline semicolon if sum of fatality equals to 0, they call it no fatalities. Okay. Else, if sum of fatality equals or greater than 1 and sum of fatality equals or less than 10, then call it 1 to 10. Just the same thing that we did there, but you are just changing it into what you want to achieve. If you need help, please say you can share your screen.
I'm done.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay. Test it out. Is it working? Test it. Make sure you can filter the data. You know, all the members are showing up without having anything on the view.
Okay.
Who's having challenges? Who's having challenges? Anybody?
I'm almost done.
Okay, good. Please challenge yourself. There's nothing needed. Challenge yourself. Let's get this. Well, like I said, I want everybody to start applying for a job while we are doing this. And these are just what calculation is. This is just what it is. It's just logic. There is no book that you're going to say to teach you how to create one calculation. What they give to you is function, and you have to like find a way to use this function to meet your own need. And a lot of time, everything is already in Tableau. You just need to know how to use it. And you don't create calculation all the time anyway. But most time, you're going to be creating calculation using the if function. So how many people, if you don't say I'm done. So let's know those that are done.
Oh, I click OK and the screen disappeared.
What disappeared?
After I finished it, I click OK. I didn't click apply.
No, it's okay. Once you click OK, you should see it somewhere in your data field.
It shows fatality grouping.
Okay, yeah, so that is, so test it, drag it to your worksheet to make sure it's populating what we have.
There is a semicolon in front of it.
Okay, share your screen quickly.
Okay.
Share your screen. Chidi, are you okay?
Did you have it?
Okay, now what that means is something is wrong with your calculation. It's not valid. So,
okay.
So click on that little drop down. Go to edit.
Okay. You said this calculation bad character.
Yeah. So
okay,
again, I said look at what I did. Okay, all right. So now I get what the problem is. So let's solve this one together, and then you all do the last one. Okay. You are on the right track, but you didn't apply the logic. So, but let me do it again. All right. So everybody watch. Or Daniel, you want to share your screen first?
Okay. Let me connect to this second laptop so that you can see my screen. Wait on 1 second.
Just share the screen that you are using now. It doesn't matter. I'm using one laptop.
I'm using two. The other one I did is my second laptop.
Please make sure you are connected to the laptop that you are using so we can easily share.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. I'll connect now. 1 second.
Okay, Dada, do you want to share?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. Bayo, you can stop sharing. Are we sharing? Let Dada share his screen.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, share your screen.
Can you see my screen? So I want to create for incidents now. I've already
Okay.
done for accident grouping. I've done for fatalities grouping.
Okay.
Now I want to do for incident grouping. So I copy what we did on
Yeah.
accident grouping. So I
Okay.
have
I just edit it, right?
I'm just editing. So I just want to edit now. So
Okay. All right. Good.
I just put incidents here, and based on the requirement, they say if it is equal to 0, no accident. Then 1 to 5.
No, it's not accidental. Look at the
Incident.
Okay, so make sure you.
Incident.
Okay, make sure you fix that.
No incident.
Okay.
Right. Incidents. So for to raise the other one, then I can either write it or drag.
You can just write it or drag and drop. So whichever one is.
Yeah.
I'll just say type it because that drag and drop sometimes.
And as I'm writing it, to show me which of the incidents I can quickly just pick it among the incidents.
Okay. So who else is finished? Chidi, are you finished?
No, I had to stop and watch what
Okay,
Mr. Dan is.
Okay, all right.
Prof, yeah, I'm done with the incident.
Okay, all right. Okay, Dada, let's see what he did. You can stop sharing, Dada. So you share your screen.
Okay, so this is what I did. I only did the incident. So when I ran it, I noticed what the error that it gave the last time. So I was just trying to include a fix.
Yeah, okay. You are passing it wrong because you see there's a bracket in front of that curly bracket.
Yeah.
You're trying to nest.
So okay, the bracket is not meant to be there.
Yeah, just remove it and remember look at what Dada did. Okay, all right. So Dada, do you want to like walk them through?
Yeah, let me see what you did.
Okay, hold on. Let me share my screen for.
Yeah, facility. Okay.
Yeah. After this, Dada can. Now remember, if you look at the requirement, can you see my screen?
Oh.
Yes, you can see your name.
My name. Okay, sorry. Let me share my screen there. So if you look at the requirements, it says if accident here equals to 1, between 1 and 5, then we'll call it low. So in calculation, the way you go about that, you have to specify it and give it a range. That was why I said this first one is just 0. So if it's 0, then no accident. And if you look at the accident here, we only have, let me sort it. So we have just zeros here. So if it says if it is 0, then call it no accident. Now it comes down to the other part. It says if it between 1 and 5. So if you look here, we have 1 here and 5. So the way such calculation work, you have to specify it like this by telling Tableau that if this sum of accident is greater or equals to 1, which is the first range that we're trying to get, that one, and you have to pass in another function and say, because we're looking at a range, and sum of that accident is lesser than or equals to 5. Remember, they say if it's between that range, they call it low. So you have to specify it to give that range. Do you get it? here, if it equals to 1 or greater than 1, then, and if it is less than 5 or equals to 5, so that will give you that range of 1 to 5. Then you say then low. You get it? If they say specify this between a range, you have to spread it out in that same range. That's how the calculation work. So let's try to fix this now. Okay, this fatality calculation. Let me close this. The easiest way to like duplicate or copy code is just you come here and click on duplicate, and we can just click on that to edit it. Or you can create a new calculation from afresh. So you can always duplicate your field, all right? But in this instance, let's just create a new one afresh. And everybody watch. We want to call this, that got it, okay, that got it. But I didn't see what Daniel did.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's call this.
You want to see mine now?
Okay, okay, quickly share, please.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're echoing. Mute one of your laptop. Now, don't let this kind of frighten you away. No. It's very easy. It's not something you do every day, but sometimes to answer your requirement, you just have to understand what it is and create a calculation. It's just straightforward. All the functions are already there. This is why I said we have to make it a practical class. Because this, you can't just listen and think you're going to know it. But when you practice it, you feel the heat, but within the heat, you get to know it.
Sorry, just on the right side. Can you see my screen now?
No, we are seeing something else. We are seeing Zoom. Just do share your screen and open up your Tableau.
Yeah. This is it.
Okay. If sum of fatality equals to 0, yes. Greater than 1, less than 10, low. Absolutely, yes. You got it. So everybody, look at what Daniel did. Daniel, just leave your screen and let them do the same thing. So you can see that he's grouping based on the requirement. Within the range of 1 to 10 is low. Between the range of, if it's equals to 20 and above, but not greater than 50, is high. Every other thing above 100. But here, Daniel, for the requirement for the fatality, look at what they ask you to call it. The first one is no fatality, which you got right. But the 1 to 10 is not low. He said call it 1 to 10.
It's supposed to be 1 to 5.
Let me check.
Look at your requirement. He said if it is 1 to 10 equals to 1 to 10. So instead of writing low, you just type in 1 to 10 there.
Okay.
I purposely did this so that you know how to follow requirements. You don't assume.
Just don't quote it.
No, you have to quote it because if you don't quote it,
okay, yeah, that's yeah.
If you're looking for number.
Okay. How about the high?
It should be 20 to 50.
Yeah.
The 20 to 50.
It's okay.
So let everybody do this quickly, please. Do the next one. Use the same logic.
That's the next one, 50 to 100. You need another else if sum of facility is greater than equal to 50. I go to next step. Else if.
So this will be what?
50 to 100. Else if sum of facilities is greater and equal to 50. No. Yeah.
So now,
Okay, so quote the last 100, that 100 at your right hand, quote it. I mean,
expand your view. So it's okay. All right. So it's already
okay. You already quoted it. Remove.
Now, Daniel, your calculation is right, but something is wrong.
Okay. What is it?
Look, you said, look at it. For example, okay, click OK first. Now bring that field on your row. Now you're going to have duplicate, even though it's right. Go back to that field, for example, to that calculation. Go back to the calculation itself.
After your above, there's one comma on after that.
It's not comma. Look at it, expand it, drag the edge to give. Yeah, just expand it. And hide your show me so that doesn't take up. Hide your show me, hide it.
Hide, just click show me.
Just click on the show me, it's going to hide. No, just click on it or exit out. Okay, now look at it. If fatality equals to 0, no fatality, good. If it's greater or equals to 1, but
less than 10.
Less than 10 equals to 1 to 10, good. But look at your next one. If it's greater than equals to 20, but equals to 50 or less. Now, anyone, how about those that have 11 to 19? Where will you group them? It's going to group them under above 100.
I think they are supposed to be on the second one.
So what I would advise you to do here, for the four, okay, let me share my screen. Okay, you are right, but you're going to have like duplicate data, or you're going to have some data in the wrong place. Okay, but good job. So let's solve the fatalities. Okay. I'll say if fatalities equals to 0, sum, I need to put my sum here, equals to 0, then we're going to call this
no fatality.
We're going to call this no fatalities. Okay, and let me put my end here to check my calculation. Now, if you look at the requirements, since it says if it's 1 to 10, they call it 1 to 10. But here, the requirement didn't tell us 11 to 20. That might be an error from the person developing this requirement. I purposely did this because I was hoping somebody would catch it. So it says every other thing to be above 100. So 11 to 19, even though they are not above 100, it's going to group them under above 100. Because it says...
What is now going to happen to 20 to 50 if it takes it down to 100?
No, remember, you are grouping. We're trying to group. You say anyone between 1 and 10, call it 1 and 10. 20 to 50, 20 to 50, and so on. But you didn't group those between 11 and
11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
You didn't group them. And here you says every other one, for them above 100. So it's going to call, let's see, okay, let's just write this and see what I'm talking about, okay? And this, let's say, for example, let me call this if, sorry, if, else if some fatalities equals, I'll just use greater than 20, and some fatality less than 50, they call it 20 to 50. And I can just copy this. It says I'm having error. What's the error? Okay. This is the field name. I call it fatality grouping. Okay, so, and what's the next one? 50 to 100, right?
Yeah.
50 to 100, they call it 50 to 100. What's the next one?
Others.
Okay, so we didn't do 10 to 10. 10. Yeah. So I'll just put this here. If it, and now because one is I'll just say greater than 0, because anything greater than 0 is going to include 1. I'll call this
10.
Less than 10, right?
Yeah.
So let's call this
That is 1 to 10.
1 to 10. And else, every other thing is what? Above
100.
Above 100. Okay. So let's see. Now, let's test our grouping. Where is it here? Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So let's see if I bring this. Let me remove this. We are looking at fatalities, right? Okay. Now let's sort this. Okay. Now, so you see that. Let's start from the below. All the 0 is well grouped. Fine. Yeah, all those between 1 and 10 is well grouped. But you look at 14, 16, it's telling you that they are above 100. That's because why? We did not group, create a group for them. We said every other thing, call it above 100. So that is going to put this 14 and 16 under 100. So even though the requirement did not specify it, you have to be smart enough to say, ask questions. You say, how about this group? Where should we put them? But technically, we know that we should put them somewhere. Okay. So let me remove this. Let's edit this group here, right here. So where can we put this there? Should we create another group that says maybe
11 to
19. Can we say 11 to 20?
Yes, so you can just create that group. Let's copy this and paste. I can say if it's greater than 11
to 19.
Good, smart thinking, because something is still wrong here. Okay, I just want you guys to start thinking into 19 because 20 is already here.
Yeah.
So you don't want to say less than 20. So no, let's say less than 20. Yeah, less than 20 is still going to, because you are not including 20 here. You say if it's less than 20, not equals to 20. So this will be 11 to 20, which to me is still wrong. Okay. Let's click OK.
Sorry, even less than 11. Less than 11, will you not still be 10?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Good thinking. This is the job. Keep thinking because data have a lot of behavior. You have to like think to make sure you get your requirement right. If people developing this requirement, they don't know much about data. So they're going to rely on your expertise to kind of understand some kind of little missing things that might mess up the report. So, but now let's just, before we fix this, let's look at what happened to this 16 and 14 and 16 once we fix this. If you click apply, you see that it's grouping them under 11 to 20. So now let's fix this calculation to make sure that we are not mixing anything out, because this one here says if it's greater than 0, which is right, but less than 10. So this should be 1 to 9, like AY said, because it is less than 10. We are not saying equals to 10. So if we want this to stop at 10, we're going to say less than 11. If it's less than 11, which means it's going to be 1 to 10. We get it?
Yeah.
If you want to say, if it should stop at 10, you can also say if this is equals less than or equals to 10, which means if it's less than 10 or equals to 10, they call it 1 to 10. These are just logic. That's where I'm driving you guys at.
So now we have to include 1 to 11 to 19 instead of 11 to 20.
If you say 11
to 19,
now
and
look at the sign. If it's greater than 11, so it's going to boycott 11.
If it is greater than 11, it's not going to take it in.
Yes, exactly. It's not going to take 11 in because you say if it's greater. So for you to include 11, you either say if it's greater than 10, because here you already say if it's greater than 10, or you can also say if it's greater than, or put the equals to sign in front here to say if it's equals to 11 or greater than 11, then call it that group, however you feel it needs. But I just want you to understand the behavior of data using this science, which is very simple anyway. Without tableau in the real life, if you say something is greater than 2, which means you are not including 2. You are saying from 3 upward, that's what you're saying, right? Yeah. Or like 2.5 or 2.6. Even 2.4 is not greater than 2 because approximately is still 2, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So let's make sure we fix this properly. We can either use the greater or equals to sign, so whichever one is easier for you. So if we look at our grouping here, for this one, if we're trying to capture 1 and 10. So I'll just say greater than 0, yes. Let's use less than 11 here. So let's just stay with the simple one. Less than 11, we include 10. And here we say if we
if we use less than 11, then the last statement it should be down is 1 to 11, not 1 to 10 again.
No, because if it's less than 10, less than 11, which means you are not
it's between 1 and 10 brackets.
Exactly, that's what you're saying. Or you can say 10, but you have to put the equals to sign here to say if it's
Lucky.
less than 10.
Less than or equal to.
Yes.
Lucky, why can we use the less than and equal to and greater than equal to, just so we'll be on the same page and we can
okay, all right, okay then, okay, fine. But what I'm showing you is there are different ways you can achieve this, but you have to know how to pass these simple functions. That's all I'm getting at. There's no one way of doing things. There are different ways of doing it. Okay. All right. So to be on the same page, if it's greater, okay, here, let's say if it's equals to 1, then, right? It equals to 1 and equals to or greater than 1, because 1 includes 2 and all that. What am I doing? Okay, greater than 1. Syntax we're missing. Identify. Okay, which is this?
Yeah, I think it's because of some of the other ones.
Okay, I have to put the greater first. And then if this is less than 10 or
Less than
equal
equal to, yeah.
10, then this one is greater than 11 or equals to 11.
Yes.
The lesser than or equals to 20. Okay. And this one will be greater than 20. So we cannot put 20 here. So this will be, because
Don't put 19 there.
we already have 20 here. So this will now be greater equals to 21 or
21, yeah.
or equals to 21, but less than or equals to 50. That's 50. Then this one will be 51, greater than or equals to 51, and lesser than or equals to 100. S above, everything should be above 100, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so if this is how you understand it, stay with it, it still works. So let's click OK. And this capture everything now. So this should fix everything for us, right? This should fix everything for us. See, all the zeros are no fatalities, 1 to 7, 20, and up to 20 to 50, good. Yeah, so this works well. So all these high ones above 100 they are all above 100, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're still going to have that problem. If we remove that stuff from the view, everything comes down to above 100. That's because Tableau needs a level of details to know how to compute that calculation. So let's go back in here and edit this. You just hit your enter button, go down and go up and type in the fix, bring in your airline and hit the semicolon, and then you close everything.
Lucky.
Yeah, you close.
I'm sorry, yeah. Why are we using the level of detail? Because I think I missed that particular.
It's because, for example, let me close this again. This calculation is working, but it will only work only when we bring in the airline here in the view.
Okay.
But if you don't have this in the view, you see, it doesn't know how to compute this. And if your users want to use this field here as a filter to filter down based on those groups, if you show filter here, it's only going to show above 100. Let me show filter, for example. Show filter, see, it's only show everything above 100. That's because this calculation is working at the data source level. It's looking at the whole data. So everything in the database is above 100. But for you to tell Tableau how to calculate this, you have to tell, just like we have this in the view now, see it's working. See that everything appears above 100. But if I take this away, it disappears because it's behaving. So to keep this calculation at that level where they can use that to interact with the data, we have to include this airline in the calculation. Okay.
Okay.
So we have to include that airline in the calculation. So let's quickly do this and fix airline, put the semicolon, and then we close the curly bracket. And click. If you click apply, it's going to break whatever is on the view because this is a level of details calculation. If I click apply now, see everything turns to red. Doesn't matter, just take it out and bring in our grouping now. You see that it's working without having to bring this airline into the view. So the purpose of this is to say, okay, how many airline falls within this group? So all we have to do, let's do another calculation and call this count of airline. Count airline. Let's do.
Lucky, I'm looking at something. From that, what we have on facility and what we have on the screen right now, we have between 1 to 10, you know.
Okay, sorry. Yes.
11 to 21. I guess we should have between 21 to 50 and 51 to 100. So
yes, okay, yeah, it's right, but we just need to correct that name. Good.
Yeah, from the calculation.
Yeah, no, the calculation is right. We just need to edit what we call it.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is 11 to 20. Okay, and this should be 21. Yeah, good catch. 21 to 50, and this will be 51 to 100, right?
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah, good catch. So now let's quickly do our let's count this airline. We can call this count airline. Now let's use another function called count D. I will explain all this tomorrow. It's very simple. Count D means to count uniquely of the airline. And let's click OK. So if I bring this into our test right now, what does this tell you?
I think it counts the number of airlines that have fatalities.
Yeah, it shows that 6 airlines have 1 to 10 fatalities, while 12 airlines have no fatalities at all. And there are 27 airlines that have over 27 fatalities. And that is correct. If we just look at our airline, for example, and bring in our fatality, let's group it. Oh, sorry. Let's sort this. Are we using? Now let's count how many airlines here have 0 fatalities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12. So let me open another worksheet, for example. Let's bring in our fatality group here and do a count of airline here. So 12 airlines have no fatalities at all. So 12 airlines, 12. So how many airlines have 0 to 20 fatalities? 2. And if you look at our data here, we only have Kondo and Sri Lanka Airlines that have only 14 and 16. There is no other data in between. So you can see that this calculation is just to group our data, just to group them in a way that they can quickly see it and understand it. That's just what we're trying to do. Is it more clear now?
Yes, but probably you might need to go over
yes
method again.
Absolutely. Good. Yeah. But now, because of our time, I want us to let everybody create these calculations so we all be in sync. So write this calculation, call it fatality grouping, and then if we have time, we can take the last one. 5 minutes, please. Oh, excuse me.
I think we're.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
Thank you.
You said we should write it out.
Yeah, just write, so you create it on your own worksheet, and so you can save it for or tomorrow, because we're trying to finish up with this requirement here. Don't forget. And this will be our first dashboard that you're going to publish. We're going to make it look nice, you know, we're going to publish that, and then we're going to re-engineer this requirement again and create another different dashboard. So with that, we kind of understand some kind of complex data manipulation, but they're very simple if you understand what they're trying to do. Okay. Shay, are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions so far? Or I know it's a bit confusing at first, but just follow with the logic. It's going to make sense.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. What are you in tune with us?
Yes. Yes, I'm following.
Okay. All right. So write this calculation. Call it fatality grouping. And then your assignment for tonight is going to be to use this same logic and create the next calculation. Remember, we have 3 groupings. And in the real life, it's very easy. It's just a drag and drop in the real life and just formatting. You don't have to do this. But again, I take you to the most complex area so you understand all this function. In the real life, it becomes so simple for you. You get it? And there are more complex calculations than this, which I feel is not needed for now. No, but understanding this basic gets you ready to start applying. So if we are done with this calculation right now, our dashboard is ready to go. We are ready to just create our dashboard, finish it, and publish it. Because look at the must-have. These are just what the most challenging part of this calculation. So you're going to create this now, and then by tomorrow, by the time we get here tomorrow, I want you to answer this third one here. Create that incident grouping using this same logic, but follow what they want you to do here. So, but you see that here, 1 to 5 here is called low, whereas here, 1 to 10 here is called 1 to 10. Is different. The users of the report have different reasons why they want to group it that way. So just group it the way they want it. All right. These I deliberately just did it this way because in the real life, it's like that. So create the incidents grouping and try to answer this question. All right. It's the same logic, the same thing that we did, but instead of using fatalities now, you use the incidents, and then here you pass in the range of the grouping, and then call it what they want you to call it. Are we done? Who is done? Say I'm done. So we can. Chi, are you done? Chidi, are you done?
No, no.
Okay. How about Yomi? Are you through?
I'm almost.
Okay, and what about you?
Almost.
Okay, all right. let me know when you're all done so we can quickly do some short wrap up. Again, don't let all this discourage you. Once you get it, it's very quick, and all that. Okay, and you can also start using these calculations to like answer logic questions in the way that you know understand. Basically, using the if statements. If this, if this, that. If not, this. Yeah, well, are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, all right. So if you're done, you can, while we're waiting for the rest to finish, you can start working on your incidents. And if you're fast enough, you can start working on the dashboard. By tomorrow, I want to see some people say, okay, this is what I've done on this requirement. This is my dashboard. Okay, take a step ahead. For the new ones, don't worry. AY, you can, do something ahead if you are confident. And the new ones, if you want to take like a step forward, challenge yourself, use the same logic and create this calculation, and then start building your reports. Okay.
So
how many of us watch those videos I asked us to watch on Tableau? Because our assignments for next week, for next week, is going to be, you're going to create some report and publish. Once you finish with the assignment, you publish your link in the group, and we can all review your work and do some critique on it.
I watch some.
Okay. All right. Okay, are we done? Do you need help? You need help, say. In the real life, it's not as difficult as this if you just understand this basic. It's not difficult at all. Dandy, am I lying?
Yeah, yeah, not at all. Yeah.
Okay, so because once you get the report, a lot of time, 85% of the time, you are working with structured data. Apart from you bringing your filters, it's very simple, okay? But in case you need to create calculation in the real world, you don't want to find yourself, wanting. So let's do the most critical part of it in class. So in real life, it's just going to be a meet for you. So who's finished? If you've not finished, say I'm not finished. So we know those.
Not finished.
You're not finished?
Yeah.
Okay, I can just copy this code and send to you and just copy paste, but I don't want that. I want you to write it out. Okay.
Prof, can you help me? I think I'm done. I don't know. Can you check it? Or maybe we should, or should I?
Okay,
Maybe
share your screen. Share your screen.
okay. Yeah, so
Okay, open the calculation. The edit. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
okay.
Yeah. Now, if you look at your incident category, no, this is good. This is good. All right. Now, can you explain what this calculation is doing? Can you explain?
Okay, so based on what we've done, I'm picking from if there's no fatality at all, it say no fatality.
Okay.
Then fatality. Else, if the fatality is greater than or equal to 1, and then we're considering between 1 and 10. So
Exactly.
we're saying greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to 10, then it is 1 to 10.
Okay.
So else, since in the requirements, it wasn't mentioned the numbers between 11 and 19. So we're bringing it in here and say, okay, greater than or equal to 11, and then less than or equal to 20, we say that's 11 to 20. Then
exactly.
Else, if it is greater than or equal to 21, and some of less than or equal to 20, then that's 21 to 50.
Okay.
Then move to less than or equal to 51 and greater than or equal to 100, then 51 to 100. Else, every other one is above 100.
Exactly. That's just what you're saying. You see, once you start writing it, it starts making sense to you, so you can relate with it. That's just what you're doing. Good. Now, before you check your incident category, it's showing that red mark. It shows so that calculation is not valid. No, you can close this. Close this.
Yes, because I've not finished it.
Okay, all right. So use the same logic and finish all that, okay? The same logic, use that, but make sure you pass in the grouping in your requirement.
Okay.
All right, excellent. Thanks. How about Chidi, are you done? Hello,
not yet.
Okay. Do you need help? You can share your screen. Let's help you out. Again, ask question. Quickly share your screen. We 9 minutes past 10, so people want to sleep.
Shall I quickly share my screen?
Okay.
Yeah, he could go ahead and share his screen.
Okay, quickly.
I think there's one error in.
Yeah, quickly share your screen. Let's see what you.
This is it. It's showing me that it contains calculation error. By the time I click it.
Okay, closing parentheses. That's what is missing. Now, your fixed is a curly bracket. It's not a bracket. And you have to put a semicolon when you use a curly bracket. Hold your shift key and click on the, you see, exactly. Now you go back down after and below. No, you're ending and putting a closing curly bracket there. In programming, if it's open, it has to close. Now, in the front of Airline, you put the semicolon. No.
Full column.
Okay, the full column, all right.
Yeah.
That's what is missing.
Then apply.
Yes.
Then okay.
Okay, now your fatality grouping as well is showing error. So apply the same logic for your fatality. Oh, you have to?
Yes.
See, this one that is all capped, you don't have to cap everything. Okay, in the real world, when you cap everything, it's like an insult. It's like you are shouting on somebody. That's what cap means. You have to be careful. You know? Okay. Yeah, so just make your first letter cap and all that. Okay. So fix it and delete the one that is not working and use the same calculations.
This one is working.
This one is working. The other one, just delete it.
Yeah, then for your title, make sure you fix it.
Yeah, I should delete this one. Yeah.
Yeah, for the title, just write start with a capital letter then.
Yeah. Shay, do you want to share your screen? Let's see what you did. Mr. Shay.
Chidi.
Oh, okay, Cookie. Give me a few seconds.
Okay, all right. No, Chidi, just share your screen. Don't worry.
Why is it showing my own like this? The bar.
It's because you have some fatalities on the view. Bring in your fatality grouping on top of the put it on your column, for example. Put it on top in your column on top. On top in your column. That is the row. No, look at your
screen. Top of the row.
On top of the row. You see, if go to your row, drop it
there. Yeah, there.
So you can see, hide your show me, click on your show me.
Okay, I should hide it.
Yeah.
Just click it. Just click it.
So you can see now that it's telling you how many airlines falls within the fatalities, and so on. Okay. So we try to see how many airlines falls within that group.
This one.
That one, don't worry, tomorrow we're going to fix all this and finish our dashboard. But for now, okay, wait, I want to tell you what to do. Please share your screen quickly. Let's see what you're doing.
Okay.
Mr. Chidi.
Okay, let me do it right here.
Okay. Go to your screen below and click on share screen. Okay. All right. So move your calculated feet up. Move it up. And expand it. Click on the edge of the calculator box itself. You can hide it. Yeah, click there to hide that. Okay, now drag, go up and click on the edge of that. The edge towards your left or right. Yes, and just drag it to expand it. Good. Okay, now can you quickly help him to fix this?
Yeah. Start with a fixed airline.
Fixed airline.
Yeah, put airline there.
The bracket is not bracket, it's a curly bracket.
It's a curly bracket, okay.
The curly bracket, oh yeah, I forgot.
Bracket have its own function, curly bracket have its own function as well.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? From that full column, erase, delete from that full column up to fix, delete it. Okay, just type, just click that airline. Go back to that front, the front of your fix.
You have the,
Put a curly bracket. No. At the beginning, before the F, curly bracket.
Okay.
Take out our initial one, that black one, take it out. Okay, so go to your end. The end, where you have end.
Oh, the end, okay.
Put another curly bracket, closing curly bracket.
now your airline, you're still using the curly bracket. Just clean that and just type only airline. Erase everything in the airline.
The incident, there are some errors there.
Yeah, you're going to fix it. Okay, now, so fix every other stuff. You guys should help him out.
So at the end of it, where you have else, the last else if, take out that else if and let it be else alone. On the first step. No, not that, the next.
This one.
No, go down. Yeah, take that one. Take that else away.
Okay, that else.
No, as if, take the as if away.
Okay.
Delete the as if. Okay, so take s now. Yes, write else above.
Incident. Change, yeah, correct that one. Yeah. Backspace, then it will suggest to you the right one. You now click it.
Right.
Yeah, click the right. That's not even the right one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you did not create the incident.
You were supposed to create
field earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
That one. Click it. Do the same for the one on top. Backspace. When you're backspace without brackets. Good. So you're good now.
Wow.
Click OK or apply.
Simple programming. Wow.
Then one more thing that you also need to know. Some of these characters on the keyboard, they are programming language, so they affect whatever
your output, yeah,
you are writing. So you have to be mindful of whatever they do, but you can always play around it. At the end of the day, you still get the right thing that you are looking for. There are so many on the keyboard, so those things on the keyboard, they are not nonsense. So they have what they are doing.
Exactly.
I think basically practice makes perfect when you
Absolutely.
do it.
That is why here is hands-on and ask questions in class so we can all help. We're all working together to learn. Even for me, I'm still learning. So don't be ashamed to ask for help.
Me too, that I'm still learning too. You see, I'm asking some questions, and some questions can be so terribly stupid. Nobody will count it stupid here.
No.
Yeah, so please.
So let's fix this for him. We
just click OK.
Okay, this one is for the incident group, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you see how
you have not done the other one, fertility.
Yeah, he will do it. He will do it. So he can use the same logic.
We'll do the other ones. Okay.
And do that. Okay. Everybody, I want everybody try and finish up with the three grouping requirement. Use the same logic and do it yourself. Do it and do nonsense. Just do nonsense. Okay. Tomorrow we fix it. From your nonsense, you're going to make sense.
Okay. Thanks.
Just look at the requirements and try to use the same logic and do it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Good job, everyone. I know this is our first net of calculation. Like I said, I'm just willing to throw everybody in and then we get it all and then we can just take it from there. Okay, so don't be discouraged at all. It's a lot easier. Once you understand those logic, it's a lot easier. Okay.
Okay.
I know we'll spend some time tonight, but tomorrow we should be able to finish up with our requirement, and then we will have our first dashboard on Tableau Public, and then we're going to work on our resume. So I'm hoping that by the end of next week, we have our resume on Indeed, LinkedIn. We start applying while we are learning.
Wow.
So we are doing like a lot of fire brigade approach. Okay. So brace yourself, learn, and watch those videos I asked you to watch by tomorrow. So by that, you understand some of this basic stuff. All right. So please watch that video, and by tomorrow, God's grace, we finish with this.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone, and you have a good night. Sorry, we went above 10 o'clock, but it's worth it. Okay.
All right. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night, Prof. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.